The most Seattle Seahawks pick ever. I could have sworn they were going Malik Willis. I thought there was a chance they went Malik Willis in round 1. Shows how little I know. But they say, you know what? Yes, throwing the ball is way more efficient than running it in 2022. Yes, we just lost Russell Wilson. Yes, our starting quarterback is Drew Lock. But Malik Willis is so bad. We are going to take a running back over him. We are going to go Kenneth Walker. Now, that is not to say Kenneth Walker is a bad running back. Kenneth Walker is a fantastic running back that I think you can be excited about. However, oh my God, this landing spot is not it. And before we do anything, can we please pour one out for Rashaad Penny? Rashaad Penny, you know how much I have loved Rashaad Penny over the years. Coming out of San Diego State, he was a running back that checked every single box. I mean, if we're talking about prospect profiles, I actually think Rashaad Penny may have been a better prospect coming out of college than Kenneth Walker was, but just Penny could not stay healthy. We actually called him a sell high at the beginning of this offseason after labeling him as a trade target of ours every offseason since 2018. Yes, at a much higher price point than he is now. But the reason we were saying to move on from Rashaad Penny at the beginning of this offseason is because Rashaad Penny, we've always said it, he has the talent. The issue is he can't stay healthy. Rashaad Penny has the talent to excel on the football field. He does not have the talent to stay on the football field. And clearly, the Seattle Seahawks know this. This is why they don't give Rashaad Penny a long-term contract, despite Rashaad Penny looking fantastic at the end of last year. And then they go out there and say, not only are we not going to give you a long-term contract, but you staying healthy for 6 games doesn't do it for us. We're going to go and we are going to draft a new starting running back. We are going to get Kenneth Walker. With Kenneth Walker, I hate to bring up this comparison because obviously this is just me looking at the jersey and my little lizard brain that knows nothing goes, oh, well, Seattle Seahawks, a big, fast running back. That's a power first and second down player. Oh, is that Marshawn Lynch? It looks like that's what they're kind of chasing here. If you're pulling up the profile for Kenneth Walker, this is a running back that is a big body player. He has a BMI of over 31. You know that he will easily be able to handle 20 plus touches a game. If they want to give him 20 carries a game at the NFL level, Kenneth Walker is going to be able to handle that. Now, the issue is with Kenneth Walker, as we've discussed time and time again, Kenneth Walker is just simply not going to catch passes at the next level. Now, I know a lot of people want to come out and tell me, oh, Mason, you're wrong on this. Team college target share doesn't tell us everything. You have to look at a little bit deeper. Look at his receptions in high school. You're overthinking it, my friends. I mean, if we look at running backs that were drafted since 2014 in the top 2 rounds of the NFL draft. Okay, so that's where Kenneth Walker falls in. But the top 64 picks in every draft since 2014. And we filter out running backs that had a team college target share less than 5.5%. Because that's where Kenneth Walker was. Kenneth Walker was at 5.4%. Here are the running backs on this list. And there are successful running backs on this list. I'm not trying to say he's going to bust because of this. I'm just saying we have to have realistic expectations. You have Nick Chubb, 4.1% coming out of Georgia. Josh Jacobs, 4.6% coming out of Alabama. Ronald Jones, 4.0% coming out of USC. And Derrick Henry, 3.8% coming out of Alabama. So if we look at that grouping of running backs, yeah, you have 3 players on there that were successful at the next level. And with Kenneth Walker, I think he'll follow down that same path. He's a much better player than Ronald Jones. I mean, you can see that Ronald Jones simply has not been able to be efficient at the next level. Ronald Jones hasn't been able to handle a 3-down workload. He's not big enough to do so, where Kenneth Walker actually is. And with Kenneth Walker, he has that elite speed, actually one of the fastest running backs, if not the fastest running back in this draft class with a 4.38. He declared early. And if we look at his past season at Michigan State, it's a running back that had almost 270 carries within 12 games. So let me do some simple math here. 263 divided by 12. So yeah, he's averaging 22 carries a game, 13 receptions. Like we said, he's not going to be a pass catcher, but in those 12 games, 18 touchdowns, over 1,600 rushing yards, 6.2 yards per carry. Now, yards per carry, not the best measure, but I mean, obviously, that's just due to the overall offense, but still, I think he steps into Seattle, and what you find is he most likely is the starting running back. I don't want to say from day one. I don't think this is a Breece Hall type situation. If somehow Rashaad Penny stays healthy through training camp, Rashaad Penny stays healthy through the preseason, Rashaad Penny stays healthy through the first month of the year, which, trust me, with Rashaad Penny, it's not a guarantee. Trust me, I have owned Rashaad Penny in Dynasty since 2018 in so many leagues. I've been buying low on him, and it's very rare for Rashaad Penny to make it through a training camp, to make it through preseason without suffering some kind of injury. I will assume that Penny actually starts the season in almost a 50-50 split with Kenneth Walker, and this kind of just transitions over to being Kenneth Walker's backfield, because if we look at the Seattle Seahawks, this is a team, once they move Russell Wilson, they should have no intentions on competing right away. I mean, I don't want to make an argument, oh, did they get the right package for Wilson? But what they did get is they had cap space, and they also brought in a ton of rookie picks as well. They have a ton of NFL draft picks over the upcoming years, and we can assume that the Seattle Seahawks plan on building up this defense. They plan on trying to address the quarterback position next offseason to possibly try to make a push then when they also have cap space to surround that quarterback with superb talent. And with Kenneth Walker, I see no reason for them to go out there and just hand him over the 3-down workload right away. Now, with Walker, if we're talking about where he's going in Dynasty rookie drafts, I would love to get your opinion on this, but obviously not going over Breece Hall. Breece Hall, a tier ahead of Kenneth Walker. That's not going to surprise anybody. But if we're comparing him to the wide receivers, I think that we could have some conversations. I think if we're comparing him to a Garrett Wilson, if we're comparing him to Drake London, if you're also going to be comparing him to Treylon Burks, if you were playing in a non-PPR format, non-PPR, you take Kenneth Walker. Half point per reception, I think you can have an argument to go either way. Full PPR, I'm probably leaning with the wide receivers just because I'm looking at specifically Drake London and Garrett Wilson as wide receiver prospects that have an incredibly high hit rate. If we're looking at running backs that graded out similarly to Kenneth Walker, he actually scored a 23 in our running back prospect model. Running backs that scored a 23, the only other guy since 2014 has been Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And running backs that scored a 22, J.K. Dobbins, Melvin Gordon, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Duke Johnson, and Darius Geis. My favorite comparison for Kenneth Walker most likely is actually going to be J.K. Dobbins. But let me know what y'all are thinking. I'm probably going to be drafting Kenneth Walker at the 105. I think I'm probably still going to have those top-level wide receivers over him in a PPR format, assuming that you start at least 3 wide receivers and you have at least 2 flex spots, and knowing that you can start at least 5 wide receivers every single week, which I'd assume that's the majority of the formats that y'all play in. However, if you play in a league where you can only start up to 4 wide receivers, running back's actually going to be a little bit more valuable there because wide receiver depth is going to be not nearly as hard to come by. But looks like we just have another pick with Wan'Dale Robinson. We'll get to that in 1 second. Of course, thank you all so much. If you have not done so already, I see only 6 of y'all have dropped a like on this video. Please go down there, drop a like. We'll be live yet again in just about 5 seconds. And thank you, of course.